I'll open the meeting with a roll call vote.
Gerard texted me and he said he's signing on now.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, wait 1 second.
Just wait a couple minutes.
The format's changed a little bit again. I feel like every time I log into Zoom, it's a little different. I'll start the recording.
Recording in progress.
Pam, can you hear me?
Yes, Gerard, I can hear you.
Thanks for you and Andy for chiming in. So did you read the
problem.
public hearing or anything, or?
No, there's no public hearing. We hadn't opened the meeting yet.
Okay.
We waited a few minutes
Okay.
in hopes she would log on, so.
Yep. So do we have, is this just a hearing? We don't have a public hearing as far as?
Yeah, it's just a public meeting. There's no hearings.
Okay. So do we have to still vote to like a quorum to?
Yeah, we'll
vote?
still do roll call vote just to
Okay.
take for formal attendance. Yep.
Perfect. Mhm.
So it's 7:07, so we'll open the public meeting and I'll take a roll call vote. Gerard Ahern,
Present?
Andy Kishitz,
Here.
Bradley Reed,
Here.
Elizabeth Hutchins,
Here.
Gabrielle Lamano,
Here.
John Dixon,
Here.
and I have Brian Holmes as absent. Is that correct?
I don't see Brian tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, with Brian being absent, Gabrielle Lamano, our associate member, will act as a full member of the ZBA and voting member for this evening.
Okay. No, no vote on that has to happen, right?
No, you don't need to vote on that.
Okay. Mhm.
So I requested we meet this evening because the Woods at Farm Road applicant, the developer, has closed out the project and submitted all required information in compliance with the comprehensive permit decision and submitted as-built requirements showing that the project was constructed in accordance with the approved plans. And the ZBA has $6,118 in a peer review account. That peer review account was utilized to review the design plans as well as provide construction inspections. And because that's complete, there's no longer a need for the funds. So he has requested that amount of money be released. And in addition to that, there's $3,000 in security to provide insurance that the public way was not damaged when certain improvements were conducted on Berlin Road. The DPW director has inspected all of that work within the public way and has signed off and agreed to release that $3,000 security. So in order to release the funds, we require a vote of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Mhm.
And I can share the as-built with you if you'd like to take a look at them.
And so there's really no encumbrance required. I mean, all work has been done. We don't have anything on record where people have complained that work hasn't been done.
I did not. No, they were there was no new roadway construction. It was 4 house lots on one parcel. All the frontage was along existing public ways, so there was really minimal work besides the home construction that needed to be complete.
I remember that site somewhere down along where your that circle is, there was some work on the drainage or something that was going to be done on the road or something.
Yeah, it's just off the, I can scoot it over a little. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Mhm.
Oh, I went to a different document. Let me go back.
Mhm.
And I think I'm just zoomed in a little too much.
Mhm.
Hold on one second.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Mhm.
Um, it's just a little off I don't know why my
I think you have to X out of the table of contents that's over there on the left-hand
Oh,
side.
is that what the problem
Yeah.
is? All right, thank you. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Yes, down here, there was a catch basin that needed to be
Mhm.
installed with some riprap, and that was completed and signed off on by the DPW director.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was no comment or issue from conservation, was there? I know
They
this
had
abutted the conservation land, so I didn't know if they had any comments or concerns.
They had their own order of conditions because
Okay.
even though this is a 40B, it's not exempt from the Wetlands Protection Act.
Yeah.
So there was an order of conditions permitting construction of this project, and it was closed out, and they signed off and issued a certificate of compliance.
Great.
Mass Housing also gave us a cost certification verifying that excessive profits from the development weren't incurred. They review all the land costs, construction costs, and there's a cap on the profits that can be made from the project.
Mhm.
And they review all of that information along with the affordability of the units and what the market rate units were sold for to ensure
Mhm.
that it's within the caps allowed. And they have signed off on all that documentation and provided us copies of that as well.
So it's buttoned up basically, other than returning the excess funds.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
This would be the last thing we have
Mhm.
associated with this project.
Perfect. Well, I assume if there's no other questions or comments, then we would just need a motion to reimburse the product owner for the unspent funds.
Yes, we need a motion to release the remaining funds in the peer review account, as well as the $3,000 in surety held for the public way.
Separate motions or one motion?
You can do them both at the same, it would be fine, unless you have different opinions on either one.
I make
I
a
would make
motion.
both in one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's
Easier.
make a motion in one.
Mhm.
But for whatever you previously said, for releasing the whatever bond, the peer review fund, and then the bond as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Second,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch who seconded that
Andy.
motion. Yeah, thank you.
oh, Liz made the motion and I seconded.
Okay, thank you. Your face didn't show when you seconded it. I didn't catch it. Okay. Gerard Ahern,
Yes.
Andy Kishitz,
Yes.
Bradley Reed, I know he's
Is he frozen?
mute. Let's see, where'd he go?
Yeah, it looks like it's frozen.
yeah, he looks frozen.
Yeah.
Brad, can you unmute yourself? I didn't catch your vote on the motion.
I'm on mute.
You're
Okay.
good now.
I have problems. It keeps dropping.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes, okay. Thank you.
I'm
Elizabeth,
I'm
Brad, sometimes you might get a better connection if you turn your video off.
no,
We can't see his charming face.
I know. Or
I'll
you can,
try.
yeah, you're freezing pretty frequently.
That time of year.
Elizabeth Hutchins, I'm just gonna move on with the,
Yes.
and Gabrielle Lamano.
I'm scared
We
frozen.
can't hear you, but I did see her say yes. If I remember it properly.
Can you hear me?
Now
Yes, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Technical
I
difficulties today, huh?
can't see the chat in that, Brad.
Brad's voting now. You see it?
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Brad's holding up a yes.
Yeah, that's a good job.
Okay, and then just on the agenda, I put a few things just to provide you with project updates.
Yep.
Because we haven't met in quite some time. Alta Vista has, their lottery has closed. It closed on November 3rd. There are 58 affordable units in the development. We received 187 applications
Wow.
for the units, and then the hearing will be conducted via Zoom by the consultant on November 13th. No, I'm sorry, November 12th at 12 p.m. If anyone's interested
Who's
to
conducting that?
attend.
Who was the consultant? Was that
Maloney Associates.
mhm. Good. Well, that seems like a good amount of candidates.
Yes, it
We've
was
never
more than I thought we would get,
Right,
quite
right.
honestly.
Great.
And then the clubhouse and mailroom and building number 3, which is one of the smaller buildings, is scheduled for occupancy. They're shooting for December 4th. And the project is expected to be fully complete by early summer, sometime in June.
No.
So
Yeah,
they're
definitely
moving
flurry
along
of
extremely quickly.
Definitely a flurry of activity down
Yes.
there.
Can I ask a question? They were
course.
supposed to have funds or something provided to the town, right, for Derby Field and the garden, and I think were the two pieces. Is there movement on that, or what? At what point do they do that?
Yeah, that was all conditioned by the ZBA to be received prior to their first occupancy permit. So we have received all the funds. It was 50,000 for Derby Field,
Yep.
10,000 for a playground at Memorial Field, and then an additional $10,000 for movement of the community garden. So they have provided all those funds to the town, and they've been placed in specialized accounts for those specific purposes.
And then when did those projects happen, or do they just kind of sit until they're ready by their like respective
Yeah, they need
organizations that kind of run that?
Yeah, Derby Field, there was a grant project going on through the MVP, what's called the MVP program through the state. That was put on halt because the bids came in more than twice than what was budgeted for the project. So the town's revisiting that, and then if we are able to kind of revive that project and receive another grant, those funds would probably likely be utilized towards that. And then the community garden, the Conservation Commission's been working on it. They're working on finding an alternate location to place the community garden. And then once that becomes finalized and comes to fruition, they'll figure out how to utilize those funds. And then the Parks and Rec Committee will have jurisdiction over how the 10,000 is used for the memorial playground.
So like what happens with Derby Field if they can't start that project? Does that money just sit there indefinitely? Like earmarked, or does it?
It may just have to be scaled down, so they'll
Got
use
you.
it in some sort of capacity, but maybe not towards the full project that was designed by the landscape architect.
Got you. Okay.
So those funds are earmarked. They can't be like moved by the town to something else if they.
Not without some sort of, I don't really know what would be involved in moving them, but I think you would even maybe have to have, I don't know. I haven't looked into it, honestly. I don't think there's intention for utilizing it for an alternate purpose.
Okay.
Could I ask a question too about that project?
Sure.
So I know during the hearings, I remember there was a lot of discussion about the traffic, and I think there was a traffic study done. There was discussion about whether there would be a light installed where they're turning onto 117 from the development. And what I remember is that there was a traffic study done, and it was way under the threshold of the number of cars that go through there.
Yes.
But that was, I don't know when the traffic study was done. It was probably
like during the middle of COVID. I remember because I was like, I don't know if this is even representative necessarily of like
Yeah, good
now.
point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I live right down the street from there. I live like right by Bolton Bean, and it's so hard to turn onto 117. And
Mhm.
we moved here in May of 2020, and the traffic really changed from, I mean, obviously in May of 2020, there was no traffic because it was the COVID shutdowns. But I think probably around like 2022, 2023, it really started picking up. And now it's just horrible trying to come down 117. So I can only imagine once, you know, all those units are full, it's going to be a disaster. So I didn't know if is it possible for us to ask for an updated traffic study and to look at that?
So
No.
a couple things. The warrant analysis for a traffic light it won't consider one road, it considers both the traffic on both intersecting streets. So
Okay.
I still don't know that it would require a light be installed at that intersection if it would meet the warrant. But the ZBA did require that the traffic be analyzed on 117, particularly at the intersection of Wattaquatic, and that a timing analysis be conducted as well as an update of the traffic count. So that has to be done prior to the final occupancy being provided by the town, and they had to provide security to the town to ensure that that project was completed.
If I
So
recall,
that
also,
means,
they were going to work with the police as far as at some point potentially having an officer, you know, at certain peak times, whether in the morning or, you know, be at that area to help.
That's not mentioned in any of the documents, so I don't know if that was discussion during the public hearing, but if it becomes problematic, we would have to approach the owner of the project and discuss options.
so just so I understand, so they have to do another traffic study before they get their final occupancy?
I'm sorry, it's not like a full traffic study, it's just
Okay.
an analysis of the light on Wattaquatic and 117.
Okay. So if it does, like if we notice before, I don't know when final occupancy is slated to be, I don't know if that's something, you know, it's probably going to depend on how many people, right, are like, well, I guess not. I don't know. It seems like they're moving very quickly. But if we do see like people start moving in and there are a lot of traffic issues, is that something that we'll be able to address before final occupancy?
That's part of the reason why there was security, I assume,
Okay.
why security was required. The way it is phrased is kind of loose. I assume that we would have rights to, because it's specifically tied to the timing of that light, that we would have rights to, if the results say, you know, I don't know, whatever, turning arrows or something can be adjusted to just increase the flow of traffic, that they would be responsible for that. But outside of that,
Impact
there
statement.
wasn't much conditioned.
Yeah, what happened to our impact statement? That still hasn't come out.
Yeah, the fiscal impact statement has not come out yet. That's due towards the end of the project.
It's worthless at that point anyway.
Recall them talking about, you know, they're certainly aware that, you know, if their residents can't get in and out, it's going to be problematic for them as property managers.
Right,
So-
right.
so
If
they
it's
were
so
gonna-
difficult.
They were going to be, you know, conducive to ensuring, you know, they have to be proactive to keep their renters happy, you know, or satisfied. So,
Right.
but yeah, it doesn't answer the question, doesn't resolve the question of what Main Street traffic is like. I don't, you know, I avoid oftentimes can't get down the road. I have to either go one more exit up, even sometimes to get to Sugar Road from 495 now. It's so backed up. I just go up to Harvard and come in the back way to home.
Yeah.
I wish I could avoid it.
No, yeah, I know what you're, I
Luckily,
know
I
what you're
don't
saying. You have to come
go
off one way,
down,
but it's such an odd way to have to, you know, to travel, because 117, and then with all the construction on down by the high school, it's backed it up even more.
right?
Yeah.
And the merry-go-round in the middle of the high school now, or down there, that was a chaos today down there.
When do they expect Pam to be asking for final occupancy? Do you know? Have they estimated that yet?
Yeah, Not, we don't have an exact date, but it's early summer, so probably
Mhm.
the end of June is my guess.
All right.
And will we have a hearing when they ask for that, or how does that work?
When they ask for, no, you won't have another hearing.
Okay.
Only
No.
type of hearings now would be if they were to have to do something different than the plan, and they'd have to come back to the ZBA to get approval. And if it was, we have to vote to, if it's substantial or insubstantial.
But we have to release the funds, right, towards the end of the project,
Yeah, we would
So
have to
you
do
would-
something similar to what you just did for the woods at Farm Road.
right?
And another condition that was required prior to the first occupancy was the construction of sidewalks along Main Street, which is
Mhm.
currently ongoing, and that
Mhm.
that has to connect to the bank at,
Mhm.
I think it's 562 Main Street.
Mhm.
And they're also in the process of replacing the culvert that connects over to the Florence Sawyer
Mhm.
School. That was also a condition of approval prior to occupancy. So they've
Is that
been,
the wood bridge, the culvert you're talking about?
yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's utilized for truck traffic to access the
For
wastewater
right.
plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, it mostly is used by pedestrians.
Yeah. I'm surprised that it's gone, seems fairly smoothly without them having to come back for anything.
I agree. The Council on Aging parking was completed. It's in use. They're using it right now. We're just waiting on some signage. There are 16 spaces provided. As an expansion of their parcel, it required an easement
Mhm.
on the Alta property, and they've provided that to the Bolton Manors property owner for use by the Council on Aging for parking.
And how about the Bolton Office Park? Everything's working out there. They're just down to half the building now, and
Yeah, they're down to half the building. I think I saw a for lease sign for some space
yeah,
that may be available.
but it's operational.
Yes, it's yeah, it hasn't shut down the entire time. They've been open during the entire phase of
Oh, well,
construction.
that's good. Yeah. Mhm.
There's not going to be an easement through there to access Horse Ring Field, correct?
There is not,
The
no.
whole thing. Yeah. So to access Horse Ring, people will have to go over the culvert that they're presumably fixing.
Yes,
And that would be the only way to get there.
yes.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions on that project? We're gonna have a meeting November 13th, all town staff and the developer, just to ensure that they're either on track or have addressed everything that they need prior to any occupancies permits
Mhm.
being issued. And we've been using Horsley Witten for inspections, so everything's really proceeding pretty well.
Mhm. Yeah, if you let us know when that meeting is, if it's online or if is it in hall, is it in person or is it on site or where is that?
Oh, no, we're gonna be on site.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Hmm.
going through the project just to identify issues that may need
Mhm.
to be addressed.
Is that
Yeah,
open
but
to
fine.
to us to attend if it's?
If you
or-
want to, I can add you to the list, certainly.
Yeah, let me know when. I think I'd love to sort of get an advanced walkthrough there and see what it's shaping up to be.
Yeah, we're gonna meet November 13th
Okay.
at 9 a.m. at the
Mhm.
project entrance.
So a week from
You do
today.
have to wear a hard hat. You're not
Yeah.
allowed on the construction site without the
Mhm.
proper gear.
Right.
I don't have extras. Usually they'll have one or two, but not too many.
Okay. If not, I'll get one in advance from the company I work at. They do they have some construction components. I can get us a hard hat or a vest and stuff.
Okay. And then the other 40B in Mallard Lane, they recently paved the project. It's moving a bit slower. There's 8 units in that project. They have pulled 2 building permits. Their regulatory agreement is recorded, and they have not conducted their lottery yet. They'll need to do that before they're issued their 4th permit.
Are they like moving forward with other infrastructure at this point, or is it
Yeah.
just the paving?
All the septic, I believe, is done, all the drainage is in, and they put the base coat of pavement on. I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago.
And do they have an estimate of when they would anticipate being asking for a CO at this point, or?
I really don't know. Yeah, they haven't been on time with their deadlines so far in terms of what they've projected. So I think it's been delayed a little more than they had expected.
Is there a point at which a project that's not progressing, like I don't know, the permit
Expires.
expires? Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like if it's gonna take 20 years to do a project that seems,
Well,
I mean, I
I
guess at
hope
the end of the
not.
day, I know, me too, but I'm just wondering if there's like a timeline
It-
expectation or if they have to come back and renew any of the permits or anything like that.
There's no expiration to the comprehensive permit as of now, but if they might, it'll get to a point if it stalls too much where, and the base coat will only last for so long, so there'll be a certain time when it'll become problematic, and we'll have to revisit certain criteria, particularly, but there's not really like a 5-year expiration or anything like that.
Okay.
That's when you see them sell it to someone else.
Yeah.
And someone else come in and finish it.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, it's obviously permitted as a 40B,
Mhm.
but now that a 40B requirements are technically kind of met in town,
Mhm.
if they sold it to somebody else, we would completely re-permit and it could potentially not, or does it have to stay as a 40B now for the
It would
rest of
sell with the
existence?
permanent.
Okay.
Yeah, they're allowed to transfer ownership, and it would have to be as a 40B unless they came to amend it in some way that would comply with our zoning.
Okay. Because if they did now decide, oh, we're not going to call it a 40B, all the like things that we went through with like the conservation exceptions and all that kind of stuff, because it was a 40B, then it wouldn't be a 40B anymore. That gets complicated, I would have to assume. So
Yeah, that would be unlikely. They would require because so many waivers were granted from our
Right.
local rules and regs. I don't see
Mhm.
a way that could be done, and
Yeah.
we don't allow use variances. So
Right.
to have all those parcels, all those units on one parcel, I don't see how it could be
Couldn't get
done.
it, yeah.
Okay.
It would have to be a 40B.
Yep.
I don't know if you have any other questions on those. I don't have a sale price yet on those because we haven't gotten to the lottery documents yet. But the regulatory agreement requiring the affordability for the project has all been recorded, and that's at the Registry of Deeds.
Do they have to fill the 40B? I guess this goes for both like subdivisions or whatever we want to call them, but projects, but did they have to do the 40B occupancy first? Or they have to do the lottery before they can get the CO, and then those 40B like pieces may be built later?
So rentals rotate the units, so
Right.
that's a little different. So the rentals, they have to have 25% of their units as affordable, and that
Yeah.
has to be broken down by the bedroom count. So 25% of each bedroom count has to be affordable. Those apartment buildings are really issued occupancies in groups.
Yeah.
So 25% of those would have to be affordable for whatever their CO is for.
Okay.
25% of those would have to be affordable. And then the for sale units, one out of every 4 has to be, so they can get up to, there's 8 units and 2 are affordable, so they can get up to 3 market rate units before
They can.
Got you. Okay.
They have to do their affordable, but they can't
Mhm.
wait and do the two affordables last,
I see.
Mhm.
Okay.
if that makes sense at all.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep, that does.
There was the last item, the minutes.
Yes, I had March 6 minutes. That
Mhm.
was the last time we met. It's been a while. I didn't realize. I can pull those up if you want to
Mhm.
take a look at them. And if you have any other questions on anything else, just let me know. We'll have to meet after the new year to review our annual report and the budget.
No, I read the minutes. I sent you back just like a edit version that had just had, spell checked and cleanup items, but the structure and the substance was, as I recalled from the notes I took.
I got those up, Gerard. Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
I hate to be that person, but can you just go through, to check how my name is spelled? Because I know it a couple times it's spelled differently. Um, and then the other thing I noticed is that, for some reason I didn't vote as part of the adjournment. Or I'm not recorded as voting as part of the adjournment.
Oh, you're right. Okay, sorry about that.
Hmm.
I'll add you.
It's set up above, and I don't know, is that some different? Oh, that was the minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot for the adjournment. I forgot Andy's name in there.
Because in there above it said Andy Kitchens abstained from,
I abstained on the previous minutes.
right,
because
and that's why I thought maybe they should, it wasn't in the other, but yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I'll make those edits.
Thanks.
The last time we met was to approve the annual report. So long ago. That's wild.
Mhm.
I don't have any comments on the minutes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Approve, second.
Gerard Ahern,
Yes?
Elizabeth Hutchins,
Yes.
Bradley Reed. Yes.
Pick up your sign, Brad.
Andy Kishitz
Yes.
and John Dixon.
Yes.
Okay, the minutes are approved
Mhm.
with the edits mentioned.
Perfect.
Before we adjourn, can I ask a question about the project that's been going on Main Street next to the Common?
Yes.
It's like where Kitchen Sink Candle used to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I remember many years ago now, they came to us for approval for something. I don't remember what must have been a variance of some sort. But then there was discussion about how they were going to change the project. And I remember them being like, we'll have to come back to you with these updates for approval. Obviously, never came back to us, and that project is moving forward. So I'm just curious if that will ever come back to us, because I know there was a lot of discussion about like parking and stuff with that project. But I don't know like what the intended use is. I think that was part of it. They maybe wanted to change the intended use, if I recall correctly.
They're approved
Um,
for 3 retail and then the
Okay.
office space. So,
Yeah.
but not specific, you know.
Mhm.
I think if that changes, they have to come back.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything that's under construction which would prompt them to come back,
Mhm.
I,
have
I
to come
remember
back.
them, I remember saying them that they plan to come back to ask for new parking on on the town
Right.
common side of the property.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe they're not planning to do that anymore. I think they were also talking about maybe having like a light food like permit situation there, which I know is part of the discussion because obviously there's a lot of implications and maybe that would be a zoning change then if they wanted to do something like that, obviously. So I don't,
Yeah, I haven't um even heard what's going in there yet from them. The project's moving along pretty slowly.
Mhm.
yes, it is.
Yeah, because they
Um,
envisioned low traffic. They said, like you said, retail, but the type of retail wasn't defined, um, and like you say, the potential for selling some type of food. But
Yeah.
all that had to be come back once they have an idea of what exactly they're doing, so we can be sure that it's low traffic or that it's not
Right,
going to
right, right.
be outside of what has been permitted for the special permit.
If they
Yeah.
did just
um,
start putting a random place in there that ended up getting more substantial traffic, is that something that would, in theory, get like raised up to us, or what would
what
happen with that?
Well, retail is kind of retail under the bylaw. There wasn't anything which called out something different. If they change the number of retail units, then yes, or if they changed it to a food establishment, then they'd have to come back.
Okay.
But I don't know what
Mhm.
if it was something other than retail, they would,
Mhm.
or an increase in the number of retail units.
Mhm.
Okay.
I can revisit it and then send it back out.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
recall.
I was just a question because I was like,
Yeah,
oh, they obviously started doing a lot of work on that, but you're right, it is rather slow moving, I feel
yeah.
like, compared to other stuff going on in town. So,
At least
but
I,
they're
if they
finally
if they
buttoning up
have
that barn
ideas,
for the
yeah, about what
winter.
they're gonna do.
Mm.
Oh,
I don't, and they've just recently gone to the Conservation Commission.
Mhm.
Um, and they haven't shown any additional parking. And the Conservation Commission doesn't really review their uses, but
Mhm.
yeah.
the layout of the project hasn't changed. They added a deck out the back of one of the units, but it's just a flat patio area. So that's what they had to go to the Concom for. And that was outside the office space for the interior design facility.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I can revisit it. I don't really
Mhm.
recall anything saying I had to go back to you if it was within those realm of permitted uses.
Well, if no other updates or any other questions, then we could do we need a motion to adjourn it?
Was there someone in the there there was someone in the public, but
Oh,
I don't know what they were here for.
For the entertainment.
I don't see anyone at the moment other than the
No, they're gone. There are a couple people there that are gone now.
Mhm.
And as we get closer to lottery for Mallard Lane, I'll send the documents along just so
Mhm.
you know what's coming up.
Mhm. Good. Yeah, that one's a slow process,
Yeah.
that project. There's a hurry up and wait now.
Yeah.
Trying to get
They've
the
been
permit.
there, they've been moving a little quicker now that it's paved and
Mhm. So should we put a wrap on this?
just, we still haven't received Attorney General comments on our bylaw changes, so that's why I haven't
right,
redistributed bylaws.
Uh-huh.
And they've requested time until, I think, November 20 something is the deadline to receive responses from them.
Hmm.
And then I will forward a bylaw with all the approved amendments
Mhm.
out for your review and reference. That's the only other thing I can think that I needed to update you on.
Mhm. So will those have to go to the town as well, or no?
Well, they were approved at town meeting in May.
Mhm.
But then they have to go to the Attorney General for legal review by the state.
Mhm.
And
Right,
so they're not,
yeah.
you can proceed with utilizing
Mhm.
them while
Mhm.
they're under review at your own risk. But if any
Okay.
changes occur, then whoever permitted the project would have to comply with the changes that were made by the AG's office.
So if the state attorney general's office made changes, do those have to go back to town, or do we just do an amended change?
If there's significant changes that are
Mm.
out of the intent of the bylaw, then they would just be denied and not adopted.
Okay. Mhm.
That's really their call.
Yeah. Mhm.
Anything else?
I'm good. Mhm.
Good.
I'll motion to adjourn if we're all set.
Perfect.
Second.
Gerard Ahern,
Yes.
Andy Kishitz,
Yes.
Bradley Reed. Yes.
Mhm.
See here's Elizabeth Hutchins,
Yes.
Gabrielle Lamano,
Yes.
and John Dixon.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you
Perfect.
for your time.
Awesome.
Thank you for your
Great.
efforts.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great Thanksgiving if we don't see anyone.
Oh,
before
yes.
then.
You too.
Enjoy
Yeah.
the holiday. Thank
Mm.
you.
Bye.
Bye.